Hello and welcome back to the HUD Gaming. We're here with Heads Up episode number 16. I'm Mark Acevedo.
I'm Joel Torres, aka Joey with the Biz.
And I'm Dusty Justin.
You gotta say I'm Justin Torres, aka Dusty Justin.
I'm Justin Torres, aka Dusty Justin.
You gotta have a code name, but people need to know who they're putting on their hit list.
Exactly.
Okay,
you know, when they
also want to know my social security number. 1.
You don't even know your social
why are you
security
doing
number,
that?
you stupid fuck.
Who are you gonna put that out there?
I mean,
He's like,
I think I gave out like the first 3
digits.
digits of my social security in like an earlier episode.
They could just put it all together.
I'll give out the 2 now, and then in the later episode I'll give out all 4, and then you can have my whole socials ping together, and then you can just be me for a day. Just for a day only, though.
That's not how that works.
yeah.
I think that's how that works.
But anyway, it's July 24th. We're here on a Wednesday. Note that these episodes usually come out a Friday, but we're so hardworking now we're finally doing an episode early.
Are we hardworking, or is our schedules a little fucked up from work? Who knows?
But we've been good. There's a lot to talk about. First up,
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
some video game foot fetish.
Oh god, this is filthy.
So not really. Okay, so Overwatch, Sigma is a new tank character for Overwatch. He just came out. They're putting him on test servers as of yesterday. So if you play on PC and you want to test him out, you can do that. His like build, or like the way he looks, is he's basically an astrophysicist who went crazy, and so his experiments cause him to kind of lose sanity, and a lot of his abilities are focused on like gravity grenades and that kind of stuff. His like overall look, we have a picture of him pulled up, and we'll link articles down below so you can see pictures of him too. He has like a full suit of armor on, and he floats, and like he looks cool. But something that people thought was weird, especially like people who are huge fans of it, is that he's not wearing any shoes, and it looks really weird.
And also, his 4th toe is longer than the big toe, and that's always a big no-no.
I've never seen that before.
What? You've never seen that before?
No.
Like...
Wow, what are you trying to tell us, Joel?
Yeah. Look, his 4th toe is clearly longer than the big toe, and that's a bit... I don't like that.
I mean, I hear you. It's just you're saying it like you got some experience in the situation.
I don't like girls that have...
His
Toes.
I don't know. I'm saying my toes are descending order. You gotta have you gotta have nice descending order. I don't like girls that have the 4th toe longer than the 5th toe. Sorry. If you
Fair enough.
It's just like, you know, it's just not like a nice like.
It's not like the way the skeleton was supposed to be built.
But that's more common than you think. The 4th toe being longer than the 5th toe. That's probably why they have it, to include those people. You know,
his toes are
Overwatch
so
is a
long.
very like inclusive group of people.
Take.
So that's probably why his 4th toe is longer than his 5th toe, to make you fucking weirdos not feel weird.
Jesus Christ. No, but his toes look like fingers. They look like hands.
They look
So
like
what you're saying is you want to hold them.
I mean,
Dude, he can definitely dap you up with his fucking with his feet.
it looks like,
Like,
fingers. It looks
It's
like
pretty impressive.
It looks like
I think his feet are bigger than his fucking hands.
They actually look like it, yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Wait, are your hands? But are your feet?
Your feet are supposed to be bigger than
your
your
feet are
hands.
supposed to be bigger
No,
than your
but
hands.
look, that's like.
He's doing
got
a little
baby
test.
ass
They
feet.
are. They're supposed to be longer.
We'll make an Instagram story. We'll test her. We'll see who has. We'll see
Our
his big
Instagram
feet and
pictures
big
just be
hands.
pictures of our feet. We'll post them to our Patreon supporters.
No way, yeah. I've seen girls do this. You got to make people pay for feet pics.
You can do it for our Patreon supporters. That's the 3rd tier. Actually, do the 4th tier. We'll call it the 4th toe tier.
Yeah.
4th toe, the long toe.
My toes are in descending order. You can
I mean,
confirm it, right, Mark?
I'm
Look
not
at
gonna
it.
check.
Just look at it.
We're good. I don't want to look at it.
I mean, my toes are in descending order too.
Are they? Let me see.
Yeah, they're in descending.
I'll be the judge. Damn, you got some club feet though. God damn, dog, you got some fucked up feet.
All right, back to the news. So Sigma is supposed to be a tank character who relies on creating shields around the battlefield and thwarting damage heroes. Yeah, I'll have a breakdown of like his stats and his abilities, and also this is from a Polygon article who was written by Cass Marshall, so I'll have all that linked down below. But his abilities, he has Hyper Spears, which Sigma launches 2 gravitic charges which implode after a short duration, dealing significant damage in the area. I'm pretty sure in this picture those are just those 2 grenades he's holding.
Yeah.
Experimental barrier. Sigma propels a floating barrier to a location of his choosing, and he can recall the barrier at any time. Sounds like a shield, or that's what they're kind of building him to be. Kinetic grasp. Sigma stops incoming projectiles in midair, converting them into shields. That sounds really cool. Accretion, Sigma gathers a massive debris and flings it at an enemy to knock them down. And then his ultimate is called Gravitic Flux. It's Sigma.
His fourth toe just launches out and kills it. Mirror's enemy just fucking decapitates him like the xenomorphs and the aliens, like just like.
So it's he manipulates gravity to lift nearby enemies into the air and slam them down. So he's not supposed to be a super fast character, and most of his
I mean, he's barefoot, so he's limited.
he floats.
Oh,
At least in this picture, he's floating.
I mean,
his
yeah,
thing
the
is like
picture he's
gravity.
oh,
I
wasn't listening.
But he's not.
We can tell.
He's not supposed to be a super aggressive character. He's more supposed to like stay with the team and kind of be support. So if you play PC and you want to test him out, you can
Are all
test
these
him out
Overwatch characters free?
now. I think so. So obviously, a
Because they
good thing-
added like a whole bunch. Like I mean, we played like very little.
we play a little bit. Like every now and then I have it, but it's honestly not a game that I play too often.
yeah.
But to also say with like the whole feet thing, with like people thinking it's weird and stuff, there's another article too that we'll also link below where the designer, like the artist behind the character, actually say that yes, it looks weird and stuff like that, but the choice was made on purpose because the point is that he's an astrophysicist who's went insane, and people in insane asylums normally aren't allowed to have shoes because they can harm themselves with laces or shoes. So the whole point of that is like to really give him like an insane look. Like people aren't taking it that way, so they
He
were
definitely
saying.
looks insane with no
So
shoes.
they were saying, oh well, will there be skins probably in the future that'll have shoes and stuff like that? But they did it on purpose. It's to give him a more.
Are people like really upset about his feet? I mean, his feet are fucking disgusting.
I don't know if people are upset about it. It's just weird because it's like he's a completely armored up character, but he's wearing no shoes.
You have to have a weakness, you know.
Just shoot him in the foot. That's how he dies. This is
That's how he
crit, that's his
dies.
crit point.
That's why Thanos lasts so long. He wears shoes. Lasted 2 whole movies.
Thanos doesn't wear shoes.
I said he wore shoes. That's why he lasted so
They
long.
weren't shoes though. They were like some heavy ass duty boots.
Yeah, he's wearing like full armor.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's like a one piece.
Are you saying Sigma could Sigma versus Thanos?
Sigma versus Thanos. I think Thanos would win.
Yeah, no.
Just
he
aim
should
for the head for Thanos if you want to take him out. Spoilers on game.
put some shoes away.
Thor took his head off.
We'll talk about Marvel later.
They made $4 billion. You saw the fucking movie.
If you didn't see the movie in theaters, you saw it on Pornhub.
It's on Pornhub.
No,
Probably is.
There was an article like a couple weeks ago that was like they were trying to leak when it was in theaters. They were trying to leak it like on Pornhub.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to see that movie again.
He's acting like you
Pornhub?
can watch
You
the
wanna
whole
watch
thing in all
Pornhub?
4Ks.
All four. I don't have the glasses yet. I can't see all 4Ks.
Doesn't have the glasses for all 4Ks.
Those should be coming in by the end of the week, though.
But yeah, so if you play Overwatch and you want to test out this new character, I think he sounds cool. As somebody who doesn't play Overwatch, I can't say too much more than he sounds kind of cool. He looks kind of cool. I would prefer that he was wearing shoes, but maybe that makes him more frightening.
And if you're into feet, his fourth toe's longer than his fifth toe. Just FYI, just let you know before you head in there and start, you know.
Yeah.
Because I know the Overwatch community does have a huge, like, porn
Oh, be
community.
careful what you say.
It does, don't they? Isn't that the whole
Ooh.
thing about Overwatch? They make, like, weird, like, porn videos.
I mean, it sounds like you've done some
It
research.
sounds like you
I
know a
haven't
little
done
bit.
research. You just hear about it on the internet. It's not. It's
You
kind of
just
hard
hear
to
it, also
avoid.
you watch it with volume on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Both of you fucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch it, but,
But
like,
you heard
I know what
about
you're
it.
talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
I know what you're talking about.
If you're into feet stuff, I'm pretty sure this guy will suffice for that.
They're filthy people
We're an
out there.
inclusive podcast, okay? We don't judge,
Yeah, we don't judge anyone.
except Justin.
He's
That's
quiet
right.
because we're judging
Yeah,
him.
do you want to like get off your fucking phone? You're doing a
I
show
mean,
here.
Jesus, yeah, what are you
Doing
doing?
some shit.
He's marketing the show, right? Take
Yeah,
it easy.
yeah,
Is he
Anyway,
marketing? Is
moving
taking-
right along
making business calls.
to the next story and the most fun thing that you should never do, gambling.
Oh shit!
So, if you play GTA, which I'm sure you probably do, or you've definitely at least heard of it, the giant GTA 5, which is still selling like crazy, and as we talked about last week on
Top
the
four.
on the
Top
list, yeah,
four. Last month.
top 4 in the sales for last month of games. They released another update for their multiplayer called the Diamond Casino and Resort update. And as it sounds, there's a resort in it and a casino where you can gamble. And so for a while, this has been a topic with just like loot boxes and where players can basically put real in-game money into a game based on the idea that they don't exactly know what they're getting out of it.
Is there loot boxes in GTA?
There are not loot boxes in GTA.
It was just like you pay money so you can get actual things.
Exactly. So in GTA, as
Which is actually the least egregious of microtransactions because you at
That
least
is
know what
true.
you're getting.
that is true. You're correct.
guaranteed.
You at least know you're paying $5 for $2 in GTA money, and you're like, I can put these $2 towards a fucking unicorn mask like Justin.
I think the way it actually balances out is like $5 is $500,000 in game.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Especially so when the game first came out, they did have those, but it wasn't as bad. But as time went on, like cars and everything, regardless of level of quality, got more and more expensive to the point where like unless you're either grinding out heists or like spending bank, you're not getting any of those things. And that's even something we talked about with you. Like even when we were stealing cars and stuff, if you're new to the game, and I wanted to get back into it recently, it's daunting to get into because it's either a huge time commitment that you have to put in, or you just got to open that wallet, and I'm not doing that.
No, I can make you guys a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, I was watching Justin play earlier today, and he was,
Through like regular means, or like you gonna
Yeah.
get banned?
No, not like banned.
no, like
I have a
he was.
fuck ton of
I mean,
money.
he was dealing drugs.
In the game.
In the game. I'm in.
In the game.
I'm in.
I mean, yeah. In the
I mean, you can respond. We gotta know. This is recorded, right?
Yeah, in the game he was dealing drugs, and then so he was making money like that. But it still seemed kind of grindy because it was like what $50,000 for one stash of drugs.
Was it fun?
No,
I mean, yeah, no, it is.
no.
It was
It
fun
is.
to grind that money. I'm
Watching
just seriously
it-
asking.
Yeah,
Why-
no.
It's like so. It's basically like you fly to an area, you kill some bad guys, you take the crate, you
Yeah, but
fly
you get
back.
cool ass planes to drive.
But you
Sometimes,
don't keep them. You fucking just drive.
No, but you get
them.
to drive the bomber plane. Sometimes there's bomber ones, and they have like the turret on the bottom of it, and then a turret on top of it. I've driven them before. So I'm telling you, they're fun.
I mean, I'm not gonna act like it's not fun. I think it is fun when you get to drive like weird military.
But you don't
vehicles
get
in
to
the game.
keep them. That's the thing that sucks.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, yeah, but you get to at least like drive them.
Yeah,
Like I
okay.
got to like drive like a
But that's not the issue we're talking about.
like some like army like helicopter,
Mm.
and it was really cool. I had to go and destroy like all like it had like these like flap doors under it, so I can drop bombs from like down it. It was cool. I like that.
It's just like it's my fantasy, you know. I just want to be flying across.
No, but I
cities
hopped on the
driving
other day and I didn't realize how much like
You suck.
how much I grinded out that game because I have like. Well, it's probably gonna sound like a lot to what we have now, but like I have like the office, and then I have the bunker, and then I have the airport warehouse thingy.
bombs. Yeah, that is a lot. I stopped playing the game when I think I had 2 houses. They had the 10-car garages, but that was like to me, I
Yeah.
thought I was big rolling, big money, had a bunch of exotic cars, but I never got any of the airport stuff. I never owned any Well, I did, because before you didn't have hangars or stuff, right? You just had to call in the helicopters.
Yeah.
Because so I did have helicopters and I had some military vehicles, but I stopped playing before they did like a lot of the big multiplayer releases with like houses and stuff. Not houses, but like the racing arena
Yeah.
and this and the executive one where like you could have your own business and heist and all that.
That's the one that I have the business building, and I think you need that one to have anything else. I think I don't know exactly if that's true or not, but that's what I have, and I do the warehouse. I like it because it's like different sections. Like the warehouse, like the hangar for the planes, is you do plane stuff. Like obviously, like you go steal drugs and then you bring them back, and then you go sell them in a big plane. But then you go to your office or whatever, and then you steal cars, and then that's when you take them back, and then you customize them, and then you sell them to people.
The customization is fun in that. That's one thing I will
what's
say.
You can-
frustrating is that was not in the single player.
You can,
Yeah.
That was really frustrating for me.
I
As
did-
somebody who loved like San Andreas for car customization alone, that was really
I
frustrating.
definitely
in GTA
did play a
5.
lot of online because like people do. There'll be lobbies where people. It's like this is a nostalgic trip for us, but back in GTA 5, not GTA 5. We were literally
I mean,
talking about
GTA 5 is nostalgic. It came on PS3.
I mean, I mean GT 5. Like there'll be all these lobbies where people just and stuff.
me and my friends, we used to do car shows.
That's what I was just like, yeah.
Like we had like we would go all to the airport and everyone would, like park and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. GTA 5 people just stuff like that all the time.
We would like send out like messages and everything to everyone. And, like, if anyone would happen, we would just blow them up.
Yeah, you just keep them out.
Yeah, we would just keep telling them over and over again.
It would just say something like $1 million cars maybe should be going like 70 miles per hour in GT5.
But nothing would happen. Here you just like look at somebody the wrong way and there's a sticky bomb on your car. But so yeah, I mean it's definitely probably the least egregious scenario where you know exactly what you're spending your money on. But still, this article is just talking about how you can go into the casino and basically transfer your real money into shark cards in the game, which you can then transfer to chips, so you can use them in the casino. But there's no way for you to transfer them back to real money, so you're basically pushing in your real money.
But that's what's confusing.
Gambling.
The thing that's confusing is that yes, hey, this is gambling, in like its most like egregious sense. It's a casino. You're paying for chips like a regular casino, playing blackjack, whatever the fuck else they play, slot machines, crabs, all that shit. But then like you don't get real cash back. But were they expecting to get real cash back?
I don't think
I understand
so.
like this looks like really bad because like it's like literally like, oh, hey Timmy, you're 10 years old. You want to fucking start a gambling habit at 10 years old and start playing online poker with your friends? Because that's basically what this is. Like
That's
same
true.
thing as like online poker, but there's just no real stakes.
Yeah, but then
I
it
mean,
also
the thing
teaches
is,
you that you're not
no, but there is
win
real
all the
stakes
time.
because it's real money to like. It's real money if you're paying. You can
Yeah, that's what I'm
obviously
saying,
use
if
your
you're paying
GTA. You
it.
can
I
use your
use
GTA
my-
money.
yeah.
But I mean, what happens if you go broke? You fucking have. You only had like what $300,000. You go in there, you fucking blow that in a night. You ever been to Vegas, kid?
Yeah, I understand that. Like,
No,
you're like,
Jesus
do you know what it's like gambling? Do you know what it's like when you're sweating?
Your whole future could be ruined. All right.
And you're waiting for 5 black on the blackjack table and it
Exactly,
never comes,
Jesus.
and then you're left out on the streets to get all of your
You
money
just want
back.
to
And the
fucking
only
see
way you can
21
is on your
once.
knees.
Jesus Christ. You're trying to count cards. You end up in a fucking ditch. Your butthole's a little sore, but that's okay.
You ever had the hangover happen to you in real life?
No, but like, I don't know, what were people expecting?
So
Like,
what-
I don't know why it's such a big deal though.
But what I
Like,
was gonna say, Cesar, I don't know if it's necessarily a huge deal. It's a good topic to talk about, but I didn't hear a lot about it until Joel brought it up to my attention. But we'll also link everything that we talk about, all these trailers.
The
and
link is
articles and stuff.
BBC article.
Yeah, we'll link all of this stuff below. But that's a good point. It's the article itself. This is a BBC News article, so this isn't coming from like a gaming outlet. So these are people that are maybe a little bit removed and are looking at it like, oh, it's a casino, it's gambling, so they
Yeah.
want to put their
oh,
2 cents on
okay.
it. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
But
I didn't know
I think
So-
their big angle is that they're upset that it can't be regulated because the part of the like the reason gambling is regulated is because the profits
gain so much money
you
from
can
it.
gain from it, and you can't really gain actual profits from this. You can only gain in-game profits, so that's why it's like unregulated. So they basically view it as unregulated gambling, which I see it as that, but I also don't see it as that. It's just a slippery slope. It's just here's what sucks is that this game is rated M. It's supposed to be like you're supposed to be 17 or 18 years old to buy this game, and that's really how it should be. But that's not the reality. We got fucking 10-year-olds
course not.
playing the game. You can buy it online. There's no way to like check that when you buy game digitally. So kids from like 8 to 12 can be buying this and just
I mean, when browsers ask me if I'm 18 at 12, I'm still saying yes, I'm 18.
Jesus.
So.
I mean,
So yeah, so that's the issue is that you can get young kids used to the idea of gambling and like start a gambling habit at fucking 10 years old.
yeah, but
And
I
then
feel
you'll
like
be
it also
going,
hits them
and then you'll
too.
be in like fucking Hope class, and you'll be like fucking gambling for like you'll be playing craps in the corner. Be like, I gotta get this 5.
That's true.
Snake eyes, fuck. All right, I'll suck your dick.
And it comes off of the same back with some people in government, not like here or overseas in Europe, have been trying to get these
Here's the
loot boxes
United
things.
States for our international listeners. I know we got plenty of those.
Oh yeah. So but there are people who have been trying to get loot boxes regulated to some degree or even banned. So I think this is also stemming off of that. This isn't the situation where they're putting in real life money and not knowing what they're getting out of it, but it's still, like you're saying, it's still influencing kids at a younger age to,
Get used to the idea of gambling.
yeah, and maybe not think it's a big deal when, I mean, it might not be that their money that they're spending, so they might not be feeling like it's a huge deal because they probably got like mommy or daddy's credit card attached to their account, but it is bad.
But
Like,
once they get their own money,
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, "Oh, look, I'll put $500 on the Jets winning this fucking game," and then you'd be like, "Oh wait, the Jets suck. Why am I a fan base of this team? And I've been tortured for the last fucking 10 years of my life."
why can't I walk anymore? What happened to my knees?
You're like, "What happened to your knees?" Oh, fucking Tony from the fucking loan factory came in and broke both my kneecaps.
Sorry, breaking these little kids' kneecaps.
I guess I see it that way, but when I was watching our little brother play, he won. He bet on the right horse. Let me just say this. He bet
Digital horse gambling.
I'm upset as hell. What did I do?
How old is your little brother? Jesus Christ, isn't your brother? Alright, so to get this clear, how old is Alex? He's 20. He's 27.
27. That took a while though.
He'll be 28 in September.
Hopefully you're right. We'll find out.
I am right.
All right. But anyways.
But yeah, tell your story.
So
But, like,
10-year-old
anyway, so-
gambling on the horse races.
So he bet on the right horse. right? But then, like, he was like, he's kind of poor. He only has like $10,000.
I mean, you could have just said he was playing the game. You didn't have to like out him.
No, but he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna
You're
say
like, we're a family, but he doesn't sleep in the house.
He sleeps out back with Blue.
no, like in GTA, like in GTA 4." And so
I have a Honda Civic in GTA. All right, it's not to be ashamed about.
he was like responsible and was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna spend any more of my money because I made money off of
Very
this."
responsible.
It
You're
was.
responsible. Go gamble on fucking horses.
He won, and then he was like, "I'm not gonna gamble anymore. Then I already won. I'm leaving." I mean, which is a bad. I mean, I guess that makes it seem terrible.
So I see you're trying to
So
see
what you're
this in a
saying is that
positive
Jaden
light.
has the maturity of like a 35-year-old.
Because he can back away when he's winning.
He can back
That's what
away
I'm
when
saying.
he's up.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Okay,
how
so-
many kids are gonna
And
actually
then,
do
but
that?
no, but then later on, he went to go play blackjack and he lost. I think he was winning, and then he lost one time, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna try again because I don't want to lose."
I know we're talking about GTA, but I'm still
It's
thinking
fucking
of this.
scary. I'm still thinking Jaden's like in a casino
Yeah.
in Vegas, fucking betting, he's throwing down
Yeah.
fucking blackjack.
That's
I mean, he doesn't
literally
really know
what I
That's
think.
what I'm
going
saying.
on.
This is kind of dangerous. They're getting
But
used
here's
to
the thing.
this.
I mean, he doesn't really know
understand-
what's going on, but like,
I understand what you're saying with trying to look at it in a positive, like, okay, well, like, it teaches him, okay, he's winning, so he can kind of back out of it, but you could still do
I
that.
know it also causes like addicts. I know, obviously. Yeah.
Well, no, that's not what I'm.
And then
That's true, but that's not necessarily where I was going with that. I mean, you can have addicts of everything. Gaming disorder is a thing. Like, anyone can be addicted to anything. What I was saying is that
I'm
you
addicted
can
to life.
you can do gambling and stuff like that. They've had casinos in games before, just without you putting in your real money. That's the thing. So he could be playing this game, betting with his in-game money, whatever. Okay, he learns he's in the winning, so he doesn't want to go back. Fine, whatever. It's not that there's a problem with having casinos in-game. It's just pumping your real money into it. And yeah, they won't be able to regulate it because you can't get it out. But that's also not that you would expect to be able to put your money in and get it back out. But
Yeah, that
it's
would
still.
be, that would be
I think that
crazy.
there's-
But it's still crazy to think about it, that how expensive some stuff is that you're buying. Like
They have
$5.
microtransactions that are like hundreds, like 100. Like, what's the max microtransaction you can buy in GTA? Like 60
Probably
bucks. I
$100.
know is at least like common in most games.
Probably $100. $99 is
Yeah,
normally the biggest.
99.9.
Like I know from 2K. I play 2K. I don't buy like the VC credits or
Mm.
anything, but I know they go up to like 60,
You'll
$100.
probably you could probably buy $100 shark card or whatever. And
That's
they give
yeah.
you
That's what I'm
100
saying.
million.
That's fucking crazy.
And they'll give you like
And the game
100
is
million or
60
whatever.
bucks.
Billion.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we
And then when we get back to when we get back home, our house is gonna be on a lease, and you'd be like, "What happened, Jade?" Like,
yeah.
The fake mob owns your house now.
I mean, I don't buy stuff like this in games, but I'm not gonna act like I've never bought microtransaction stuff.
And then regretted it right
But
away.
we don't buy.
No, because if I know exactly what I'm getting and there's no loot boxes, like for Naughty Dog games as an example,
Jesus Christ.
with the
This is I know this infuriates
Oh
me
my
though.
God.
why?
Because the fucking like executions and all that shit from like Last of Us.
Oh no. What I was gonna say, I mean, true, but I didn't buy those. What I was gonna say
That's
is
stupid,
Uncharted
though.
4, the guns, like
Oh,
the guns
okay.
themselves.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that, like for
No.
a game that you played a lot, because the thing
We've
is,
played Call of Duty for how long? I've never put.
but
any
you
money
can't
in
you
it.
can't buy those directly.
But you can like incentive. No, you can. You can
You
buy
can't.
certain guns. Remember,
No, you
there's
can't.
like
You can
the
buy
packs.
you can buy skins. You can't buy guns
No, but
directly.
there's packs where it's like you
For
get Danny
skins.
Trejo and a fucking gun.
Yeah, but for skins, you can't buy guns directly. Like you can't go in and buy like the Peacekeeper and stuff like that. You can't do it. If you could, you probably would. Well, if you played multiplayer, you would. We play Blackout, which you can still get them. We play Zombies, you can still get them. The point I'm trying to make is that when you have skins and stuff like that, I'm not going to buy them. But if it's something that is actually pay to win or alters the gameplay, if it's a game I play a whole lot and it's not that much, sure. Like Uncharted, it was like $10 to get like every gun in the game.
Yeah.
I don't mind that because if I don't spend that money, I'm going to be getting crushed online because those guns are always better. They're always better, no matter what developers say. They're like, oh no,
Yeah,
it's
remember
not
we
pay
were
to
playing
win.
multiplayer? That dude was fucking wiping us with the Tiger Shark, which
Yeah.
is a DLC,
Yeah.
like not
It's
DLC,
always the case.
microtransaction LMG in Call of Duty. It's like fucking
That
incredible.
shit's like 2 shots,
Yeah,
like to your leg, and you're dead.
it's true. So I mean, I still think it's wrong, but with this in-game casino thing, yeah, I don't know what
this
they're
is
expecting.
this stems back to our heated Red Dead conversation, where I talked about
Yeah,
as long as people stop giving these people money, these things will stop happening.
you're right, and it's not stopping.
So they're gonna keep on making money, and it's just gonna keep on going. If you don't want this to happen, you don't want this like some people view it as predatory behavior. I view it. I see both sides of it. I see that Rockstar is a company and they want to make money. I understand that aspect. I also see the predatory stance of like making kids get used to gambling. So I see both sides of it. But at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. And if you don't pay, you don't give them money, then they'll stop doing that shit.
Yeah, you're right. So in that sense, it won't change as long as it's in the top 5 MPD.
Exactly, and,
every
and
month.
GTA 5 was like what number 4 last month in North
Yeah.
American sales. So
make no mistake, they got my ass hooked on it because you see that spinning wheel in the photo right there. We're looking at a photo right now. Just
Well, yeah,
you know,
like a
it's
relay
oh yeah, I
wheel.
wanted to ask you about that. So there's a car in the center of the casino, and you can win it off.
You can
of
win
a
off the spinning wheel.
and you have to
You don't-
pay.
No,
you have to pay,
no,
right?
you don't pay any money for the spinning wheel. It's once a day.
Oh, okay.
You just have to log
That was
on.
kind of cool.
You just have to log on every day. You get free money.
To be fair, looking at this objectively, the casino looks fucking dope, and I
Oh, yeah.
kind of thought about getting back
It
into
is.
GTA
GTA is a
Online.
great game.
Yeah, it's a great game. And
I would play.
I told
yeah.
you guys should. We should.
If
hop
you
on.
ever wanted to play it, I would
but the
absolutely.
problem is
play
that it is, and now at this point, it is pay to win.
But-
to get in is pay to win.
It's true, but I still have my 20 cars. You know what I'm saying? I still got my Bugattis. Like I would be of the less rich
Oh.
people, but I'm not starting from new.
Speaking of that, I got my old account back, right? I found out the password and all that stuff, and I went to go play it online on my PS4, and you can't transfer characters from PS3 to PS4 anymore because people were transferring modded accounts over. So they
but
stopped it. So now I can't get my PS3 account.
but if you
anymore.
already did, are you safe?
no, if you already did, yes.
Okay, all right.
If you already did, yes.
Because I already did. I did that like
I'm
as
pretty
soon
sure you
as the
should be.
jump happened. I did that.
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure,
time.
but I can't.
Dude, if you want to play that, I'll play that. I'm down.
Which I'm kind of upset that I can't.
He's like, I will not confirm that on air. I will be in incognito on my PlayStation
I'm
playing
not
Days Gone.
incognito.
I can't
just ignore
Oh,
transfer.
it.
you know it's good. You can't be incognito anymore.
Why?
Because I found a way to make you never be incognito. To me,
Ah.
you can't be incognito to me, but you
Why?
can be.
What is it?
I'm not
We're
gonna tell
like
you.
real friends?
No, you're fine.
Oh shit, Mark, you need to tell me.
You don't need to know,
you
but
like
it's
hacking?
okay.
You fucking dox file my shit.
That's fine. I'll see you playing games. I'm not gonna always ask you to play something anyway. You're
You
fine.
always ask me to play.
That's not true. You were playing Days Gone yesterday. I didn't ask you to do anything.
And I was kind of hurt when I asked y'all to play, and this guy was playing freaking Borderlands. You guys
He
were
was playing with his
Days Gone.
girlfriend because he's fucking happy. He's the only one happy out of all of us. Sorry. Just
I mean,
let him
you
be
could
happy.
have told me that like you were playing with your girlfriend.
I did. What did I say?
No, you told me.
You just
didn't tell
liked
him.
what he said. He said he was playing with himself, and you just liked it.
You fucking scumbag. You couldn't even fucking text anything in there. You-
Okay, first of all, so we get this clear and everyone's well aware of this, you're the master of not responding. All right, so let's go ahead and cut that
I
shit
know.
down.
I was so hurt by you because you didn't respond. Joel
I
did.
respond as a joke, but I'm like, I'm playing Days Gone. Go fuck yourself.
Well, I didn't want to be mean. I just
You
like
could
to
just say
sing.
fucking no.
That
Just
was
man
good
up
enough.
and say no.
Did you not laugh when I liked your message?
I like the fact that you like that.
Okay, exactly. All right,
'Cause
so
I like-
I'm sorry.
I know,
to-
but I felt hurt that you liked his message. I would have felt better if you would have like not responded at all.
all right, well, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I was playing
He was just trying to
Borderlands.
get a dub again. He sucks at blackout, so he
We'll
needs to
play.
fight.
We'll play. Don't worry, we got it. We'll play.
We'll play
But yeah,
tonight. We'll
basically-
stream tonight live at Spec.
Actually,
I'm
that's
gonna try to
something
figure that
we'll
out.
talk about that later after the show. But that's something that I think we should actually do.
Oh shit.
But
I told Joel that I'm gonna try to figure that stuff out
Yeah.
today before I knew we were.
This is
coming here.
off air conversation.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
sorry.
fine.
All right, go ahead.
Let's put a pin in this GTA. What's the next thing we got?
I'm actually let's do a quick 2-minute. If you want to teach your significant other to play games they've never played games and they want to play first-person shooters, start with Portal. If you're poor and you can't afford Portal, Borderlands is also a good starting place.
Does Borderlands 2 still have the infamous? I put this infamous in quotes girlfriend game mode.
They have a girlfriend game mode?
And the original, I remember there was a big controversy around this when the Borderlands 2 first came out.
We're just
That
playing
one of the
standard.
developers said that there's a girlfriend game mode. I think it was just like easy mode, but
Yeah, I was
he said
gonna
it.
say, does it make it super easy?
He said it like girlfriend mode, and it was like everybody got upset about it. But like he meant like easy mode, so like somebody who doesn't used to playing games can play with you. Does Borderlands have that option, or are you just playing it like normal?
I'm just
straight up?
playing it normal. I didn't change the
They
settings.
should have called it significant other mode or something. I mean, I know it wouldn't
This
sound.
was 2011. We didn't know anything.
I know it wouldn't have
2012.
sounded as cool.
Borderlands 2?
Yeah,
Borderlands 2 is 2012.
2000.
Girlfriend mode sounds cool though.
So what are you saying? They're not as good at games as you?
No, but I'm just
Are
saying.
you
Like,
saying? something?
no, but I'm just saying most of the time.
I
I know.
would
I'm
assume
kidding.
that most everybody's better than games at me, except Mark. I'm just better than him at everything.
We'll start streaming, then we'll see.
Ah,
I mean-
shit.
And then before we hop into this last story, we're gonna quickly shoot over to the Call of Duty, and then we'll do this because this is gonna take the rest of the time.
I have to go pee, so you can just tell them.
He's got to go. Are you go pee? I'll just tell a story. I'll tell a story for the listeners.
Jesus.
Well, you have no conversation. Actually, he probably doesn't know about it anyway. So, If you're somebody who plays Call of Duty Zombies and you've been seeing all the YouTubers like posting videos today and stuff like that, everything that I'm going to say is like heavily rumored. Nothing's confirmed. Treyarch and Activision haven't said anything, but the director of Zombies and one of the heads of the studios, Jason Blundell, it's rumored that he's fired or that he's no longer working for Treyarch, which is a huge deal because basically he's been working with Treyarch for about 10 years or over 10 years, but his big like promotion was right at the end of Black Ops 2. So if you remember, Black Ops 2 started with Transit and then it had Buried, or it had Die Rise, then it had Buried, and those maps were like lukewarm. People didn't really like them. But then what you gotta understand is people's favorite maps, Mob of the Dead and Origins, is when like Jason Blundell kind of like came to power. So then he was the one that did those maps, and then he did all of Black Ops 3's life cycle, which everyone loved, at least people who are like huge Zombies fans. This is my favorite game, no question. He was the director and kind of the creator of all of those maps. And then going into Black Ops 4, he was the one who like presented it live on stage and talked about how they were gonna have the factions and all the custom mutations, and they're doing this new chaos story and all this kind of stuff. But to like basically summarize it, because there hasn't been any official statements, we'll link articles down below. There's an article by Gaming Intel, who, again, this is rumored, but their article talks about how Jason Blundell and 9 other executives at Treyarch have been let go, or just basically
Why
fired.
are they like? Are they saying like? Is it
It's
soft
rumors.
sales?
It's-
but what is the like? What is the rumors that they're getting fired? But is there a reason? Is there?
I don't think there's a real reason for. Well, okay, actually, yeah. So if
Because I
they're-
remember earlier in the year, people like Call of Duty executives were saying that they're upset with the fact that Black Ops is not sticking. Like, it sold really well in the beginning, but people are not playing it as long as they would want them to.
if there was a reason for, like, in the article,
But that was regarding the Blackout game mode. Like you said,
Hmm.
Jason handled the zombies.
well, he's also the head of the campaigns. So that I was to say, the thing that it was talking about was how in Black Ops 3 they originally started the campaign development life cycle being an open world campaign. That didn't work. They scratched that, and then came out the campaign that was in Black Ops 3, which wasn't well received.
Probably one of the weaker campaigns of like this generation. of
Yeah,
Call
for
of Duty.
sure. And then Black Ops 4's life cycle, they started to develop a campaign that was supposed to be co-op, but that also got scrapped. And then obviously now, as we know, Black Ops 4 released with no campaign at all. So I think maybe what they're saying is like he was blowing budget or something because he was developing these campaigns and then wasn't
and they were
finishing
getting
them.
scrapped and stuff like that. And as we see with the new Modern Warfare, they're bringing back campaign.
Yeah.
So that might have been like the original plan to have maybe all 4 of these modes.
So
And then-
maybe that's the case. However, that still sounds weird, and I still feel like that can't really be the case, because even though with campaigns he might have been super successful, if he's the head of campaign and zombies, Black Ops 3 Zombies has to be one of the most successful zombies they've had.
But that is also extremely niche.
But he's also the reason for Chronicles, which was the best-selling PS4 DLC for a certain amount of
Are
time.
you
Not
serious?
just for
Oh,
Call of Duty,
shit.
like it was like at the top of like sales.
Okay. But what I'm saying is though that as much as me and you love zombies, and there's a huge zombies community, but that huge zombie community is niche when compared to the overarching Call of Duty community. I mean,
That's
when
true.
we look at the percentage of people who complete these Easter eggs, it's always 0.4, 0.5 at the highest.
You're
Usually
right.
around 0.2,
But think
0.1.
about how many people are playing zombies in general. And
That's true.
And with what you're saying, I do agree with. But we're
I'm not
talking
saying
about
that it's like it should be like tossed aside.
Oh yeah.
But what I'm saying is that like it's not the main. It's not the bread and butter of Call of Duty.
Oh, I completely agree. Absolutely, it's definitely the third. It's probably the
it's
least
the reason
played
why
mode.
we buy Call of
For
Duty,
sure.
but not the reason why most people buy.
But another thing too is that Black Ops 4, you're right that the trophies for like getting the Easter eggs then are like 0.2%, 0.4%. But if you go back to Black Ops 3, they're like 1.5%.
Okay,
Think about how many people play Black Ops 3.
that's a lot.
That's
a
really
decent.
when you look at like actual numbers, it's a lot. And the whole thing is just that if this is actually the case, it's crazy considering he's made the best maps. And they will just be on a barrel downwards in quality if he is no longer part of the zombies thing.
But were people complaining about Black Ops 4 maps already?
Yeah, and maybe he wasn't even in control of those maps. That's part of this too.
Okay.
Part of this too is that like
So you're saying that there was a fight for power
probably
that was going into Black Ops 4 development. That is the reason why maybe is it the Chaos story?
so yeah.
No,
So
the Ether storyline.
Yeah.
So the original from Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops One.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that why those are all remakes,
yeah.
and because he was struggling for power to maybe create new maps and new ideas.
Yeah, so like a super brief and super short summary of just like Black Ops 4 Zombies like inception to where it is now is basically he comes out on stage, talks about it. Oh, custom mutations, this, whatever. There's this new story, chaos story, factions, which factions is something that's still not in the game, and they
Still
already
not in
released
the
3
game.
maps. And he said it was going to be ready like pretty much when the game came out, but it never came out. Also, when the game first came out, if you read the descriptions for the Black Ops Pass, it was saying it was going to be 4 chaos story maps. That's not what the pass is. It's 2 chaos maps and 2 ether maps. People think it's because they ran out of budget while they were making those 2 maps, which would also tie into the fact that the 3rd map was a Nuketown remake, and which this is super, super rumored, but there's a rumor that the last map is going to be a Call of the Dead remake, which would be fucking wild if they ended the Ether story, which is a 10-year story, and it's supposed to end in the Great War on a remake.
So there's mixed feelings in this room. You're obviously upset about that. I'm obviously upset that it's not a new idea, but I also love Call of the Dead and think it's probably like an underrated map.
It's a great map, but it makes no sense in the story.
It makes no sense in the storyline. I agree completely, but I also do love Call of the Dead. I mean, we love the Alpha Omega recent map, but I think we both.
I like it. I don't love it.
We like it.
I like it. I
think
definitely like it more than the others.
I think though that's kind of a weaker map because we've both noted that it's not necessarily good for even zombies because it's tight corridor. It's not like a traditional has no you really can't track on the map.
No, you can't.
So there's zombies hardcore zombie things about it that people have structural issues with the map besides the fact that it's a remake.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So.
And then also, so the things to look at, since there's no official statements, is Treyarch has been doing live streams anytime they do a new operation or they have any updates for the games. In the update for Operation, I want to say it was for Grand Heist. Basically, it's the one. Yeah, it is for Grand Heist. It's when they showed Ancient Evil for the first time. Mm-hmm. That was the last live stream that had Jason Blundell in it at all, and that was 4 months ago.
Oh shit.
Alpha Omega came out, and he was never in any live streams for it.
The whole operation is Operation Zombie shit, right?
And he's not there. He hasn't been in a live stream for 4 months, and people were like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's just he's busy, maybe he's hard at work. And one thing that me and Joel were talking about is okay, well, Nuketown is cool or whatever, but maybe they're so hard at work on the last map.
That's what I speculated, because I was that's why it's a remake, or not remake, but necessarily they already have this asset art, because it's basically the Blackout map, and
even if it was a remake of Call of Dead, maybe they're still maybe they're pumping so much stuff in it that it's great, it's gonna be cool. Now with things that we know, things that work against that theory are the fact that if the budget's been met after the first 2 chaos maps, so that's why they're kind of cheapening these, that would probably mean the last map they wouldn't. Him not being in control is a huge red flag, because like I said, he's the one that's behind Mob of the Dead Origins and all the BO3 maps, but all those maps in early BO2 that people didn't like, that wasn't him, those was other people. So if he was the head of the great maps and then now he's disappearing, that's not good. Also, when you look at the credits for actual Black Ops 4, he's not in the section that's Treyarch head, Treyarch studio heads. He's just under Zombies production. He's not even in the developers. He's just in the production team. Yeah. And that's weird. He doesn't have any social media, so you can't check. You can't go to his Twitter, his Instagram, nothing like that.
But what is his official title?
His official title...
He's not a studio head.
He was a co-studio head. Do you know who Mark Lamia is?
No.
He was do you know who David Vonderhaar is?
No. Are these the studio heads as Treyarch?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, Treyarch, the way their structure is they have.
What I'm saying is though, with him being a co-studio head, there's probably people at Naughty Dog that do a lot of work that are not. Neil. Which one left? Bruce left. Bruce Straley
left.
And then now it's just Neil.
And now it's Neil Druckmann, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure there's other people besides Neil Druckmann that do a lot of hard work and are high-level officials that don't get maybe their names tatted on it. Well, also with Hideo Kojima, it's the same thing. So maybe Jason Blundell is maybe a little more popular because he has his niche.
I might be wrong in saying this, but what I'm imagining Hideo Kojima, for example, or Neil Druckmann. In those senses, those are probably the people who are actually writing the story and really putting it together. And then of course there are people who do
Kevin Levine, same thing.
Yeah, there are obviously people who are doing hard technical work, but not actually writing the actual story that goes around it.
Because Cory Barlog.
Even
I'm just gonna name heads
go ahead. Name all of those people. Those people are amazing and deserve all the praise they can get. But even thinking about that, when we finished the Alpha Omega Easter egg, that ending cutscene is not even a cutscene. It's little art pieces, and that's a little weird.
Are they usually?
They're usually always actual cutscenes.
Okay.
So that's a little strange.
It's like comic book, Infamous 1 art.
It doesn't look bad. It looks cool, but it's just it feels a little cheap when it's
It feels a little bit like Ultimate Alliance 3.
Because it's supposed to be you get your
nothing wrong with that game.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying. It's comic booky.
It is. Yeah, it is comic booky. So, but his role is basically supposed to be like the one who writes and directs the story and creates like the themes of the map. He might not be the one doing that hard like. So it's him and Craig Houston is the one who like writes the characters and the lines and that kind of thing. So it's really them too, but now it's just Craig Houston showing up in these live streams. So if you're somebody who doesn't play Call of Duty or Zombies specifically, obviously this wouldn't matter to you. It's big news if he was fired for people who do play Zombies, because that's a huge loss on them. Also, we talked about this a while ago, but Sledgehammer is no longer part of Call of Duty's development cycle. So the next game after Modern Warfare will be another Treyarch game, and it's rumored to be a Black Ops reboot. Which means it'll be Black Ops, which means it also have Ether's storyline just rebooted. And if he's not a part of that, that's bad. What did you say?
What was the reason?
What do you mean?
For them dropping out?
Sledgehammer, apparently just the project wasn't going well, right?
Yeah, it just wasn't going well.
Which is weird because they released World War II, which was World War II, I think, was generally received very well.
They also had people leave the studio too. Remember that was a thing.
But then they also got the guy from Dead Space.
But he also left.
Oh, he ended up leaving?
He ended up leaving, I think, yeah.
Damn. So, I mean, yeah, it's a tricky time for Call of Duty and Treyarch, which is sad because Treyarch has always been, I think, our personal favorites from World at War.
For sure.
We love the Treyarch Call of Duty games. Obviously, Infinity War has done great work, but once what's his name? Vince Zampella?
I don't know.
The guy that made Titanfall. Once he left Infinity War kind of lost its luster with Modern Warfare 3.
It happens. Like, even though these teams are comprised of huge people, there's significant people who make a gigantic difference, especially in those head roles.
Yeah, I mean, when big studio heads leave, it's news for a reason. It's not like... Also, speaking of big studio heads leave, I know you didn't cover this and we didn't talk about this at all, but the Doom id Software guy, the head of studio, left.
When?
Just recently.
Like
this week, like last week, or like the end of last week, or this week.
Do you know his name?
I forgot his name.
Is it the guy that that's like the director of Doom, or just like a id studio head?
He's the studio head of id Software.
Okay.
So I don't know his official name. Justin, if you can search it up for us real quick. But yeah, he did leave, and that's kind of weird because you would think that he would leave maybe if he was planning on leaving after the project.
Doom Eternal might be done.
Yeah, Doom Eternal.
Like, it might be pretty much done.
But what I'm saying is, though, like, they probably get nice bonuses off of, like, Metacritic and sales.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of weird that he did leave. But, so yeah, like, when people leave these studios...
No, put id Software. Don't put Doom. Replace Doom with ID Software.
So yeah, when these guys leave, it's a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it does leave a creative hole in these studios.
Yeah. So currently, based on what I'm saying, it's rumors...
Tim Willits?
Oh, Tim Willits?
Yeah, Tim Willits.
That is the... I'm pretty sure that is the...
Yeah, he's
the... I want to see a picture, but I think that is the guy who... Oh, no.
No, it's not. It's not the. He wasn't the original founder of id, but he was very early.
Not
on.
the original founder. I'm thinking about the guy who has like brown short hair. That's actually the one for Doom.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's been at the studio for 24 years, and also a funny thing about him, I heard on a podcast, is that he apparently claimed that he invented the multiplayer map pack.
Mm.
So that's interesting.
He might have. Yeah, I mean,
it's controversial because people like he actually has a contentious relationship with the original founders of id because he claims that he's done a lot and stuff like that. But yeah, after 24 years leaving the studio, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, and it's a big deal. If people don't know this, fun fact: Wolfenstein is the first-person shooter ever. If people don't know that, some people just kind of that don't know where that came from. You like Call of Duty, you like Battlefield, you like first-person shooters in general. It is the one who started that. Yeah. And all of the like starting out.
But you said 9 execs, including Jason. Who were the other people?
It didn't name them. It just said Jason Blundell
like
and 9 other execs. Yeah, and a lot of the things. Again, these are all rumors. It's there was that article on it, but then it's also leaked by people who. The people who leaked, like, oh, there's a Nuketown. You know, there's a Nuketown remaster being made months ago. They leaked that. Yeah. It's by those same people.
Okay.
So even though these things aren't being officially outed, they're probably correct. So that's why people are like actually making stories about it, making videos about it. It's rumors, so yeah, if it's not true, don't believe me. We're just discussing it. However, these people have such a good track record with being correct with leaks that it's probably true. And considering that Jason Blundell does all those live streams and is like their public figure, they probably wouldn't want to come out.
You know what? This sucks, but you know what? Remember when we were playing Alpha Omega, what I said I wanted? I wish that this Call of Duty zombie shit was a single-player game, like Resident Evil 2 style. Jason Blundell heads up his own studio, makes his own fucking horror game like that. Outshines Call of Duty Zombies. Just do that shit, Jason.
That would be nice.
Just be a boss.
If they don't accept you, just build your own thing.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be nice. I don't know if he can do that legally, but that would be nice.
No, not saying with the zombie story.
No, yeah,
I know,
he's saying
even
that
with the zombie storyline, but I feel like he's probably got like some knowledge of some gaming things that they're like, don't use
Oh
this.
yeah.
And Activision's got so much money that.
I mean, they probably also know a couple people.
Oh,
Oh shit!
You bust his kneecaps?
The Activision
Blundell's
mob
gonna be in a wheelchair?
Oh shit! The Activision mob. Don't fuck with Activision.
All right, so moving on to the bulk of the
biggest
story.
news. Oh god.
That's not even video game related, but we just have to talk about it. So San Diego Comic-Con happened last week. We covered the first day highlights, but this is like the big meat and potatoes.
This is the Hall H. This is the fucking granddaddy of them all. Marvel Studios. Saturday. They fucking unleashed Phase 4. They unleashed the future of everything.
Did you make it sound like they like unleashed like security guards on fans or something? They're like Marvel Saturday. They just unleashed hell on everyone.
Well, no, like Hall H is
Killed all the
Hall H
fans
is like
in
the
the room.
biggest hall or where they had the biggest panels at Comic Con. That's why I said that. But yeah,
Gotcha.
this is obviously probably the biggest news that came out of Comic Con.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, so they Kevin, is it Feige?
Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige showed the Phase 4, and they showed dates, and some are tentative, some are not tentative, of different Marvel movies and shows that'll be coming out in the future. The shows will be on the Disney Plus service, and the films obviously will be just regular films. And then there's also more that aren't in this picture, which we'll link down below.
So this is the tight Phase 4. With Kevin
Yeah.
Feige said that this is going to be one of the shorter phases, and this phase is all about new beginnings. And this is like he said that this phase. That he kind of inferred that it seemed like maybe the phases will be shorter and not as long and drawn out. And like, he also like said like Phase 3 was very long because Phase 3 is like from the end of Age of Ultron. Well, no, it was end of Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, right? I think that's how the timeline goes. And I don't think Ant-Man is technically part of Phase 3. I think Captain America: Civil War started Phase 3. So that's from Civil War all the way to Far From Home. Civil War was released when? Like in 2000.
Civil War?
Yeah, 15.
I feel like it's 15.
So 2015 to 2019. That's a 4-year phase. So that obviously that was a longer phase. Phase 1 was kind of long because it was 08.
Phase 1 was kind of long, yeah.
But then Phase 2 was a shorter one. So this might be a nice shorter one. But I mean, even though this is probably one of the shorter phases, this is a lot of
stuff.
I
A lot of
didn't
stuff.
even know there were phases.
So
You're a fake fan. Get the
I
fuck
never
outta
said I
here.
was a fan.
Get the fuck out of
You're
here.
a
I never
fan.
said. I never said.
Everyone's
I
I
a
pay
fan.
for your fucking IMAX tickets. You don't even know there's fucking phases. I'm paying $50 for what?
No, you said they started when? When was Phase? When did Phase 3?
Phase
What are we
3
talking about?
When did Phase 3 start?
I believe Phase 3 started with Captain
What year?
with Captain America: Civil War, which is when the last time they were at Hall H is when they released Phase 3, and they did the same thing that they're doing right now. So yeah, continue, Mark.
I was just gonna say also, continuing with what you're saying with how this phase is gonna be a little bit shorter. An important thing to note is that there's no Avenger type of films or even that kind of ensemble. So they're not doing these stories. Will still
that
link.
ties into him saying it's new beginnings.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. So these current stories in Phase 4 will tie together, but it's not going to be anything like the Infinity Saga where they're all building up to like one grand finale.
This is now the beginning. This is now Phase 1.
Yeah.
Again, this is now we're gonna build up to
Another Thanos.
And
fucking
so-
X-Men versus Avengers, which would be fucking crazy.
Giving
shit.
some details on each of the things that are actually on this timeline. We'll go through them and then talk about them. I'll link in. There's an Entertainment Weekly article that I'm reading from. We'll link that down below. And credit goes to Devin Coggin, who's the one who actually wrote all of this. And I will be just quoting a lot of it because he wrote it so beautifully. But the first one that's on this timeline is a Black Widow movie. Its scheduled release date is May 1st, 2020. We knew about this one a while ago.
Yeah, this has been teased. A lot of this stuff has been rumors, but it's just nice to see confirmed official logos and stuff like that.
And yeah, and they obviously, since it's Comic-Con, they gave some footage shown or they detailed a little bit of each of the ones that are shown here. Spoilers again, you should have seen Endgame by now. If you haven't, there's something wrong with you. But Black Widow is dead in the current timeline, so this is of course at a different point.
This movie takes place after Civil War. That's what I heard. That this movie takes place after Civil War, and her villain is Taskmaster.
Yes.
And Taskmaster is like, if you don't know him, the only like connection I have to Taskmaster is Marvel's Spider-Man, which was released last year. And apparently his whole gimmick is that he just like copies your fighting style.
If he sees you fight, he can replicate it.
And so apparently in like the teaser they showed, Taskmaster has a shield, so apparently he's been watching like Captain America fight, so he fights like Captain America, which is fucking badass.
That is maybe true, maybe not true, and I'll tell you why.
Oh shit.
So in interview with Scarlett Johansson, she says, where we find Natasha in her life at this point is very specific. She really is in a dark place where she's got no one to call and nowhere to go. She's really grappling with her own self. When something huge explodes and all the pieces are landing, you have that moment of stillness where you don't know what to do next. That's the moment that she's in. We're talking about Black Widow, or her character. In that moment, you actually have to face yourself. So in this movie, with what you're saying, how it could be like Captain America. So Stranger Things, David Harbour, who is Hopper from the show.
Okay.
He's in this movie too. His name in the movie is Alexei. He's a Russian.
Oh, that's what I saw that on, my friend sent me that actually. I saw that he was going to be...
Yeah, so his name in the movie is Alexei Shashkatov, aka the Red Guardian. And this is what I was going to say to what you're saying. The Red Guardian is a costumed hero created by Russians as a communist counterpart to Captain America.
Oh.
So he might be like Captain America, just like a Russian version. So him with a shield might be like this guy.
Oh, so that's what Taskmaster's been watching.
He's the American?
No, he's not.
No, but it's just funny because like it's even funny that David Harbour's name is Alexei in this because like Stranger
No,
Things.
they had to do that on purpose though. I
then
feel like they had to.
Or that was just the Red Guardian's name in the comics.
And then also there's I don't know if you're going to talk about this, but there's like a close female character to Scarlett Johansson that she refers to as like her sister.
Maybe, I don't know. So I was gonna say also, in the cast, Florence Pugh is a fellow assassin named Yelena Belova.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
And Rachel Weisz is gonna play a woman named Milena. And then the Handmaid's Tale star O.T. Fagmanley is a fixer named Mason.
So that character you named, I can't pronounce those Russian names.
They were kind of tough. Yeah, I was like, I'm hoping I don't mess these up. But we're just gonna roll with it.
You sound pretty good.
If you're a celebrity and you're listening to this, sorry if I messed up your name. But also, we have celebrities listening. Holy shit.
But yeah, so apparently I think it's probably gonna set her up for maybe her being like the new Black Widow. Because like I hope that this ties into like the whole orphanage that we got teases of in Ages of Ultron and like deals with like Natasha's past. Because that was hinted at very lightly, but that all seemed like really cool because it was also like really dark. Like for the MCU, it was kind of dark.
Yeah.
So,
do you think when Hopper got the role, do you think he called Alexei and told him?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
God, I hope so. Also, actually, continuing what you're saying though with the orphanage is Rachel Weisz plays Milena, who has been through the grueling Black Widow training program multiple times.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
they refer to each other as sis in the story. They have a sister-like relationship.
Yes, and totally, maybe that might be. And then it also mentions Taskmaster will be the primary villain, and yeah, we've seen him in Marvel's Spider-Man, so that's where we know him from.
So yeah, this movie, out of all the movies, to be honest, this is probably one of the ones I'm like least excited about. But that's also because like the upcoming Thor movie and Doctor Strange are fucking like. I love those two characters. So that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? I would probably put Eternals last and probably the second to last. Shang-Chi I'm just interested in just because it's so new.
I wouldn't put Eternals last for the cast alone.
I don't know what Eternals is.
So
we'll get to that. But the next one on the list is...
Next on the list is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is scheduled or slated for fall 2020. This is a Disney Plus show. This is going to have Anthony Mackie reprising his role as Falcon and Sebastian Stan being the Winter Soldier. So the main villain in this is going to be Baron Zemo. He last made his appearance in Captain America Civil War. You saw him as like kind of the computer.
But he was also the guy.
Yeah, but like
at the end he was the computer.
Yeah. And then but they showed him in new footage at Comic-Con reprising his purple mask. So like the way he actually looks in the comics is how he'll look in the TV show. And Disney Plus is going to launch in November of this year, and that's basically Disney's streaming service, which will have a bunch of archived footage of Marvel stuff. It will have every
single
shows.
MCU movie.
Yeah.
It will have every single Star Wars movie. And also, this is not part of this, but it will have the Star Wars Mandalorian TV shows as well. So Disney Plus, basically, like Netflix is looking kind of shaky right now. Netflix is basically like the home of like stand-up comedy, and that's it.
That's true.
So stand-up comedy is not even that good. You only have like what, 3? 4?
What do you mean?
The stand-up comedy is good because like that's where Bill Burr puts his specials out.
I know, but as I'm saying, they only have like what, 5?
Even then, though,
like a group.
I feel like Bill Burr can honestly just charge like $5 and I'll just pay it.
But stand-up is also.
I'll pay him.
Stand-up is also a niche thing.
Like
true. Of all the shows and all the movies and stuff, how many people actually watch those stand-up specials is probably small compared to what they want.
Yeah, but
at
Netflix
least.
does pay a lot because they gave Chappelle like 40 million.
He's
Chris
also
Rock,
Chappelle, but it is still
Ciroc,
insane.
not Ciroc, Chris Rock.
Ciroc.
I wish I had some more Ciroc. Chris Rock they gave him like another 40 million, and recently teased, and this is completely off topic, they gave Eddie Murphy $70 million to do a stand-up special.
Well, hopefully they're good as his OG ones,
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
because those OG ones are good. Like Delirious is a classic.
Yeah, but this so the Disney Plus, I'm day one buying it because it's fucking all the shit I.
Because it'll have everything you
They
want.
have all the superhero shit and Star Wars shit, which is all I care about. And this Falcon and Winter Soldier show is probably the most interesting out of all the shows. And this is like,
Maybe. I completely disagree, but we're going to
oh
continue.
shit, all right, but yeah, this show looks fucking awesome.
I actually think both the Loki show and the What If show look better, but we'll get into why.
Okay, but yeah, but the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I also like the icon is like him, like is like the cap shield in it.
Yeah, because
But what do you feel about they still
Because
calling
the
him
Falcon is now wielding the shield.
Yeah, spoilers for this is huge spoilers. Endgame, Infinity War. If you haven't seen those movies, just this is what we're gonna be talking about at the end.
But you should have seen
But
them.
you should have seen them. They made like.
If you're not getting the spoilers from us and you don't
You've
live
already
under a
had it
rock,
spoiled.
you've seen them in memes.
because you've already seen Anthony Mackie with the Captain America shield on stage and stuff like that.
You've seen Hulk say I was made for this 50,000 times before we're spoiling this for you.
So yeah, apparently this show is supposed to be about him becoming Captain America, right?
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think that's it. What it's all about. You think we're gonna see? You think we're gonna see old Chris Evans in this?
No, he's not going to be in this.
You don't think he's not gonna be in it at all?
No, I don't think
No
so.
cameos.
No.
Like no like.
I feel like they would
No,
have
like,
I
oh,
think
man,
they
we're
I
getting
feel
our-
like they would have said something about it.
I feel, but this is Marvel. They do surprises.
Yeah, they do.
Spoilers for Far From Home. We didn't know
I mean-
Jonas Jameson was gonna be in that bitch.
I mean, that's true.
So like they
That
can
shit's
do,
like
they-
still in theaters,
that-
but like, all right.
it's almost $1 billion. I mean, if you haven't seen it, if you don't care about the MCU, you don't see the movies on the first week.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, this is true.
But so
Um,
yeah, so like I feel like he could be.
He could be. I mean, it's possible. I don't see it happening, but it's possible.
yeah.
I mean, it's for sure possible. And then next up on this list is another film. It's going to be The Eternals, which is slated for November 6, 2020. This is the only kind of ensemble kind of cast that they have in this Phase 4. It's not an Avengers type of situation, but the Eternals are a group of ancient immortal beings watching over the earth. Jack Kirby, who works for Marvel, he created these characters in the 70s after a brief time working at DC Comics. And in this movie, the Eternals is their cast, and then their nemesis are called the Deviants. So
Isn't Thanos a deviant? I think
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Thanos is a
I
deviant.
feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah, Thanos is a deviant.
I feel like
So-
I've heard deviant before.
You've heard Deviant before.
No, I mean,
'cause you are-
but like one of the like I feel like I've heard that like him.
I've seen your internet searches.
You're a Deviant.
So yeah, so Thanos is a deviant.
Mm.
Just in context, like what?
But he might be in the. I mean, he's not gonna.
He's not going to be in this movie. What I'm
but
saying
yeah.
is that, yeah.
So the cast is Angelina Jolie as Thena, Richard Madden as Icarus, Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo, which is probably the reason why I'm excited for it. Lauren Ridloff as Mockery, Brian Tyree Henry as Phastos, Salma Hayek as Ajak, Leah McHugh as Sprite, and Don Lee as the big bad Gilgamesh.
The big bad
And-
Gilgamesh.
Yeah. So this is a film, ensemble cast, November 6, 2020. I don't
This
have much
is-
to say about it because it's like a new character.
Yeah, this like the Eternals is like. I mean, the Eternals is more obscure than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Just to put it like in like now everybody knows what the Guardians are, but like before like the comics, they're more obscure than them. So this is one where, like I said, it's probably on the movie scale. It's the one that I'm least excited about, but I'm still obviously going to see,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably going to catch me by surprise. I have the lowest expectations for this. Like
That
I'm
makes
just
sense.
going in to be like, what are these characters?
Yeah.
and I'm going to learn their story. So I'm interested in that front, but besides that, I really have no like Black Widow. I'm excited to see like how they're gonna like. This is basically her farewell
Mhm.
to the MCU, so I'm excited about that stuff. So
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about the Eternals either. So, moving right on, their next film is going to be Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That'll be February 12th, 2021. And it's the first Marvel movie that'll actually have a main character who's of Asian descent. And the main star is Simu Liu.
he's
Probably.
apparently the star of some Canadian show.
Yeah, so he is best known for his role on a Canadian sitcom called Kim's Convenience, and he'll be the main star in this alongside Aquafina and Tony Leung. And the supervillain in this, the primary villain, this is going to be the Mandarin,
The true Mandarin,
the real Mandarin.
not the Mandarin we saw in Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
that
not
pissed
that-
off Mark.
Yeah, not that bullshit. Iron Man 3 sucks, but we're not going to
It
talk
doesn't
about
suck. It doesn't suck. It's
It
not
sucks.
bad. It's okay. It's a
it.
good
What's
movie.
your opinion on it?
I don't remember that.
He
one.
hasn't seen. He has no
Oh,
opinions on the MCU.
well, that
he's
probably
basically
means
a
it
Phase
sucks.
3 newbie.
Anyway, yeah, I don't like Iron Man 3. Either way, if you like it or don't like it, that fake Mandarin shit was bullshit.
But this is interesting. They're gonna have the real Mandarin. And
True.
Shang-Chi. What's Shang-Chi like? What's his thing?
I don't know.
Like the only thing I've known about him is that like he's taught like a bunch of
Says he's
superheroes how to
it
fight.
says he's a martial arts
Yeah.
master. That's all.
He's taught like people like
So
Spider-Man.
like karate.
Yeah, he's taught like Spider-Man how to fight. He's taught Dynamo from the Deadpool 2.
Mm.
So he's taught like those superheroes how to fight stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
So
the
he's
Legend
gonna-
of the Ten Rings. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's been
either.
referenced before though. I
Yeah.
remember listening to something where they talk about like how all this stuff has been referenced before.
Mm.
So that's interesting.
And
That's
then-
also an interesting movie because like it's a new character.
that's another new one.
It's another new guy.
Yeah, it's like I have like neutral opinions on it before I see a trailer. Reading about it, it's nice, but then like a trailer, I'll be like, okay.
Who's playing the Mandarin?
It doesn't say.
They didn't say.
Doesn't say.
Okay.
And right next up is another TV show, WandaVision. That'll be spring 2021. Sounds exactly what it's like. So Paul Bettany's Vision died in Infinity War, but he'll be appearing next to Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch in this new Disney Plus series. And Olsen in an interview said that it's going to get weird. The show will find Wanda Maximoff and Vision teaming up with Monica Rambeau. The character made her debut as a child in Captain Marvel, but in WandaVision, she'll be all grown up and played by Teyonah Paris. So, they don't really give a
That's
description
the
of
fighter
exactly.
pilot, like Carol Danvers' best friend.
Yeah, I
her
think it's her
daughter.
daughter,
That's
yeah.
who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Captain America or Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Yeah, I watched it on our TV.
Oh, okay.
Mm. So then, yeah, that's what that's going to be.
So yeah, that little girl. That's who's gonna be in this as well,
Oh, okay.
which
I
is
haven't-
interesting.
It is interesting, but we'll find more about that when that comes out. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is the next film for May 7th, 2021. Scarlet Witch will be in that too, starring.
So about Scarlet Witch, whatever her story arc is in WandaVision, they said will lead her to the doorsteps of Doctor Strange.
yeah.
So, just to like tie in some like comics, like what people are speculating is that maybe like she's like in her mind. That's why Vision's so alive. Like she's like created her own mind, her own universe where her and Vision lived out this perfectly like nice life. But she's maybe been in there so long that she kind of like is fucked up and crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why she ends up at Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And you can continue.
Oh, that makes sense. I like that.
That's what people are speculating.
Yeah. So the original director of Doctor Strange, Scott Derrickson, will be returning to direct Multiverse of Madness, and he's saying it'll be the first scary MCU film.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, he's saying it'll be the first one that'll have like horror elements to it.
He also
Ooh, I like
directed
that.
Sinister, which is a scary movie.
Mm-hmm. So
I
he's
like
got
that.
experience.
I like
with
Doctor
that.
Strange already. I'm kind of interested now.
Yeah.
And he also, Cumberbatch himself said that even though Strange was a largely authoritative, confident figure in Infinity War and Endgame, Multiverse of Madness will disarm the character and present him with some unexpected challenges. And according to, basically exactly what he said, according to Feige, the events of WandaVision will directly tie into the film.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And then also it's been teased that Nightmare will be
That would be cool.
which I don't know much about Nightmare, but I know that he's like in Doctor Strange villain.
Mm-hmm.
One of the more popular ones. So that's interesting.
And then another Disney Plus show, Loki, is spring 2021. This is the show that I'm most excited for.
This is
out of
probably
their
my
lineup.
second most excited for. I
Gotcha.
love the Falcon and Winter Soldier, number one, but Loki, this is like pretty fucking exciting.
Mm-hmm. I'm most excited for this because in Endgame, Loki actually gets to finally get the Tesseract. And
Well,
so-
we gotta explain a little bit. So the Loki in this one is not the Loki that died in the beginning of Infinity War.
yeah,
It's at the end game when they time travel to the events of the original Avengers in
Mm-hmm.
2012. That in that timeline, Loki got away with the Tesseract, and this show follows that
Yeah.
Loki.
an important thing to note about that, since it's that Loki, is this is before Loki kind of becomes our
Like hero.
friendly asshole.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's kind of like an anti-hero of
Yeah,
some sort.
this is before he's nice and he helps out. This is still when he's just completely their villain. But he nicks the Tesseract, and this is supposed to follow the events right after that. Because Kevin Feige said that at Comic-Con, he said that the question he gets more than any other question about Endgame is where did Loki go and what happened to him. So this will answer that question.
Yeah, Loki was definitely a fan. Loki's death is probably one of the hardest ones out of like the both Infinity movies.
Yeah,
because it just like happens. It's just like they don't care. Like
it's like
Thanos.
first 10 minutes just snap his neck, he's out.
Oh god.
Yeah,
So sad.
that shit hurted.
It hurted.
That shit hurted real bad.
And then we've got What If, which is an animated show coming summer 2021. This is the one that has like a gigantic cast. It'll have main characters, but it'll also include voices from Michael B. Jordan, Josh Brolin, Mark Ruffalo.
And this is also completely animated.
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson, Haley Atwell, Chadwick Boseman, Karen Gillian, Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, Neil McDonough, Dominic Cooper, Sean Gunn, and Natalie Portman. So basically a ton of people from the Marvel universe will be reprising their roles to some degree in this. But this show will be exploring exactly kind of what it sounds like. What if? So like one of the episode ideas that they said was like, what if Peggy Carter picked up Steve's shield and became Captain America instead of him?
Yeah, she got the super serum. And then also I think they mentioned that in that timeline that Steve Rogers, Captain America, would have worn like one of the first Iron Man suits made by Howard Stark.
That sounds cool.
Doesn't that sound fucking dope?
That does sound really cool.
That's what I'm saying. These what ifs can be interesting. How long do you think these what if episodes are gonna be? Like, because I was thinking, oh, they're gonna be like 30-minute Saturday morning cartoons, but like that sounds kind of like a long story.
Oh, they are animated, right?
So maybe
if they're animated, I feel like they'd be like 25 to 30 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, but that's a lot.
They gotta move it quick though.
That's a lot to pack in there. So maybe they might be more. Maybe they might vary in length, but maybe they might be more around like that 45 hour.
45 to an hour. I could see that.
Because what I'm picturing from Loki, the Falcon, and also the Hawkeye show, those are going to be hour long. They're going to be like hour long, like episodes.
Yeah.
But the only, this is probably, I already know probably the answer to this, but like, are they going to be as good as like the movies?
They're talking about like budget level.
And like the production and all that. It's a TV show, so I think they're going to have to cut back.
The fact that these are now on Hall H, these are officially part of Phase 4. These are going to be good. I don't think they're going to be shitty. Because they're not going to be like the Netflix ones where it's like, oh, here's a loose tie-in to this shit or whatever. Like, to show how much the Netflix shit doesn't matter, fucking Mahershala Ali's Blade, and he was a fucking villain in Luke Cage. So basically, they're like, yeah, the Netflix shit, that shit doesn't matter. So I think the fact that these are actually tied into the phase and they're actually going to have story arcs that flow into the movies.
So they're going to be like the movie quality.
It's the same situation with how like the Spider-Man movies before they were part of MCU, like the Sony ones, don't really matter, and all the X-Men movies don't matter because they're not that same production team. You know what I mean? Like they have a Marvel license for different characters, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't tie into.
But I mean, the Netflix shows the idea was that they were tied to the MCU.
Oh well, yeah. I watched Daredevil, and that shit's not tied to this. So yeah, I know what you mean.
But that was the illusion that they sold to us. But
I think probably for these shows, it might not be the same level of like holy shit action all the time. And if they're hour-long episodes and it's seasons like, I don't know, 8 to 10 episodes, they haven't detailed it.
No, it's 6 to 8.
6 to 8 episodes.
So this is exactly what I like. It's nice, short, compact story arcs.
So
how many seasons?
So from the way that they're making it sound like is these are one season.
Yeah, these are one season.
These are the show. Like that's the show. And
there's no way they'd release like 2 seasons at the start of these shows. Because they have to see how they're going to do.
Well, obviously not at the start, but I feel like the Falcon Winter Soldier might just be one season, and that might be it.
No, I think
because you said they only have one villain.
So I think that
but we don't know.
I think that all these are going to be one season.
I mean, if you ask me, I would think Endgame would be the end of the MCU, but obviously it's not. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way to know which one of these is going to be the end, if like it's going to be one season and done, or if not, you just have to watch the show and find out. I'm sure they could always tie in more.
The only one that might be continuous, I believe, is obviously the What If, because they can just keep spawning those out. But the rest of these shows, I believe, are going to be like one seasons, and then once these characters tie into the movies, then
the Loki one absolutely seems like one season.
Yeah,
because that's just.
WandaVision and Falcon, they seem like definitely. I feel like Loki could not be.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But then up we got another show, another Disney Plus show. It's going to be Hawkeye. And that'll be Jeremy Renner reprising his role as Hawkeye, but he's going to be training young Kate Bishop as a sharpshooting protege. And by the artwork that was teased at Comic-Con, it's going to be inspired by Matt Fraction and David Aja's acclaimed solo comics run of the same name. So that'll be another Disney Plus show.
And that comic was what made Hawkeye very cool. I think that comic was released around the times of the original Avengers or maybe Age of Ultron. And so that comic made Hawkeye very cool, and like that Kate Bishop character was eventually going to become a new Hawkeye. So
Yeah.
that's probably what's going to be set up. That Kate Bishop is now going to be the Hawkeye in Phase 5.
That makes sense. And then last on the at least,
Last but definitely not least.
definitely not least, but last on this Phase 4 list that at least has a date, but we still have some bonuses right after it, so stay tuned, is going to be, actually, even before I say this, before we end the show too, if you're listening to this on YouTube, you can go ahead and like the video and subscribe if you're new here, or if you enjoy the content. Also, you can click the notification bell to be reminded when episodes come out, but they usually premiere on Fridays. And if you're listening on Spotify or on iTunes, you can also just follow us or on any of our socials. That'll be linked down below. But last but not least in this official Phase 4 is Thor Love and Thunder,
Oh, God.
which will be coming out November 5th, 2021. And the sweet, sweet man, Takai Waititi, will be returning to direct. And if you don't know who this is, it's our favorite rock man, Korg. The voice of Korg is the director of the movie, so the guy who made Ragnarok will also be directing the 4th entry in the Thor series.
It looks cartoon.
It's not cartoony.
It's like 80s.
I
kinda.
feel- yeah.
It's like playing off the same themes of Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Chris Hemsworth is coming back as Thor, for anyone who is worried about that. And Tessa Thompson will also be returning as Valkyrie, and revealed at Comic-Con. Valkyrie will be confirmed as the first openly LGBTQ superhero in the MCU.
And the whole storyline is her finding... She's... At the end of Endgame, Thor said that she is the king of New Asgard. So the whole story is that her finding her queen.
Also,
Valkyrie's the girl that rides the unicorn.
yes.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
Also,
Just hit me.
Natalie Portman is part of it, and she'll be returning as Jane Foster, but this time she'll be wielding Thor's hammer, Mjolnir.
So she's female Thor.
Exactly.
That's kind of dope.
That's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be Jane transforming
We're all good. Don't worry. I didn't spell anything.
into the mighty Thor. So yeah, that's what it's going to be. And then that's the last of what's confirmed to be on Phase 4 with dates, but there are, like I said, other things too.
Yeah, so I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder is obviously number one when it comes to movies of my concern, and then probably The Falcon and Winter Soldier is number one when it comes to shows of my concern. But all of this looks really good.
Yeah.
All of it looks very good.
That's
I think
good.
the thing I'm most excited for here is the Doctor Strange. And then
Yeah.
Doctor
second-
Strange, Doctor Strange is number two in movies because Doctor Strange is like such an interesting character.
Yeah,
We only got one actually single movie from him. So
Yeah,
it's true.
I'm excited to see more.
I am a little disappointed that we didn't get no Ant-Man.
Yeah, it's a little weird. But
And when do you
that's
think
it.
they'll show Iron Man's little daughter?
That's gonna be like phase 6.
She
and
has to
7.
grow up
Yeah,
first.
she is. I mean, they're not gonna use the same actress.
No, I know, but,
But,
I'm
like, the
saying,
time has
like,
to
the
pass.
timeline in the story has to
Yeah,
pass
yeah.
for her to, you can't have, like, a 5-year-old in a suit.
Yeah, but
even though-
Hawkeye is training his daughter.
His daughter's older.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just
That's not his daughter. Kate Bishop is not his daughter.
Okay, well,
Remember, his name's Clint something.
Clint Bishop?
No, it's not Clint Bishop. It's Clint something. Clint with a D.
Anyway, moving past the official releases in the Phase 4, as he mentioned earlier, is
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali wants to play a new version of Blade. And the story of actually how this went was after Ali won his second Oscar for Green Book, he actually called Marvel. They didn't call him.
That's fucking dope.
That
He's
is
such
cool.
a badass. He's like, yo, I want to play Blade. And they were like,
Yeah, he called Marvel and told them that he wanted to play Blade, and they absolutely said yes immediately. So if you're a fan of Blade, that's going to happen. Also, he's a incredibly talented actor, so we're all blessed that he wants to do
yeah,
that.
he's a fucking amazing actor. He did the Green Book. Obviously, he was really good in True
Moonlight.
Detective.
Moonlight, too.
as well. He's been killing it recently.
Yeah.
So,
That doesn't have a director or release date, but that's something that's in the works. Alongside that, too, Captain Marvel 2, the sequel to 2019's Captain Marvel, will also be coming out. That does not have a release date. Also doesn't have a director attached to it yet, but Brie Larson will presumably return as Carol Danvers. And Black Panther 2 also will be having a sequel. Also doesn't have a date, but Ryan Coogler, the director of the first and the writer of the first, will be returning.
okay, that's good. I didn't know that.
And Chadwick Boseman will be reprising his role as T'Challa. And then the last one that we've got, and the thing I'm most excited for more than any of these, is Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oof. Which will take place after Thor: Love and Thunder.
And finally, they've replaced James Gunn back into his role as the director, because he was, Marvel kind of, they fired him basically because of some tweets that he had like a long time ago that were offensive. So
Which he already apologized for.
He already apologized for, and he is currently working on the Suicide Squad sequel. So currently he's working for DC.
By the way, Suicide Squad reboot.
It's called The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, they're rebooting the Suicide Squad, the one movie.
Yeah.
They're already rebooting it.
But Disney reinstated him in March, and the new Guardians isn't on the schedule yet, but they will start going into production after James Gunn finishes his work on the Suicide Squad. So.
And then also Kevin Feige teased at the end that he's like, we didn't even get to talk about the Fantastic Four. So, and also mutants. He mentioned mutants, and then later in an interview clarified that he meant mutants and X-Men are interchangeable. So this is like the first time that we're seeing like acknowledgement of the Fox acquisitions of the Fantastic Four and X-Men properties.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about like these movies or anything like that already? Like we already know who the villain is going to be.
That's everything that we know.
So all these Phase 4 movies we know a lot about, but all that stuff that we just mentioned at the end, that's probably Phase 5 and 6, presumably.
Yeah, well, we already know who the Black Panther.
Well, because those are returning.
Those are returning characters, so we know that.
No, but I'm saying we already know who the villain is. It's the water thing or whatever that they mentioned in the movie.
Oh yeah, that was teased in
at the end game or whatever.
That was teased in
the lady was like, "Oh, we got some earthquake underwater, some shit like that."
Yeah, well, I mean that's how all these movies work. As the universe is connected, so there's always teases into what is coming next.
So do you think Captain Marvel will explain what she was doing with Nick Fury at the end of the Spider-Man movie?
Maybe.
Far From Home.
Oh, you mean the Skrulls?
Or do you think that would be explained earlier, like in Phase 4?
That's
because none of these movies seem like it will like.
That's true. You're right. Like just what he was doing.
So talking about Spider-Man,
like what was he doing over there?
So talking about Spider-Man, it's not mentioned in Phase 4 at all, and they weren't mentioned later on. So the deal with Spider-Man is that obviously we know that that's a Sony product, and that they licensed the rights to Marvel Studios to use the character. So Sony owns the rights of announcing any movies regarding Spider-Man. Marvel Studios can't do that. And the way the contract is set up is a 6-movie deal where there was 3 solo movies and 3 team-up movies. Tom Holland and Spider-Man already did the 3 team-up movies with Infinity War, Endgame, and Civil War. So then now he did his 2 solo movies, but the third movie the second movie, Far From Home, the most recent Spider-Man, has to make $1 billion for Marvel Studios to do the third movie. If it doesn't cross $1 billion, then Sony gets all the rights back, and then they have to renegotiate to see whether they want to continue this or not. But
can you imagine doing that? Be like, your movie needs to make $1 billion for me.
But good news, Spider-Man: Far From Home is at at $970 million. It's only been out for 20 days, and there's no movie that has made $900-something million. They either cross over 900 into $1 billion mark or stay at 800. So looks like we're in the clear for Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man movie being part of the MCU.
Do you think Sony would really do that?
No, but after this final Spider-Man solo movie, it could not be part of the MCU. Spider-Man could be just...
Yeah, but it could be. But would Sony really miss out on the... what are they going to do with their character?
They could just make their own Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, but I feel
everybody would pay to see that. Most people don't realize what's MCU, what's not MCU. I mean, I think more and more
wouldn't tie together.
I think more and more people are realizing it, but it's still not the general populace.
You would watch the movie. I understand what he's saying.
I'm sure there's people that are like, oh, why isn't Deadpool part of it? Well, it's a separate thing. Oh, why aren't X-Men in the Deadpool movies? It's a separate thing. People don't understand that.
No, I know that too. I didn't know that Spider-Man until we came out of the movie theater. He told me that Spider-Man was part of Sony. I never knew that, but I'm just saying.
But they licensed the character. It's not part. That Spider-Man is part of the MCU. He's not tied to the Venom universe or anything like that.
Okay. It's confusing.
It's
all corporate.
I know, but what I'm saying, it doesn't make sense for Sony just to do that because he's such a big thing with all these other characters. I feel like it would be kind of weird if he was just a.
But they can be making all the money themselves.
Yeah, but would anybody really? I mean, of
course,
people
would go. It's just like how you're saying you weren't really aware of it. If they were to make another Spider-Man movie and it was still to have Tom Holland and all of that kind of stuff, you wouldn't know a difference. It's still gonna say Marvel on it. It's not like these movies are stamped with. The Marvel Studios is what they're stamped with, but it'll still have Marvel. So unless you're really looking for that, it's kind of a similar thing. I mean, at least to me, when people are like, oh, what's a Disney movie and what's a Pixar movie? All of those animated movies still say Disney, but they're not all Pixar movies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Some are Disney and then they have the Pixar ticker with them, but it's just a thing.
But I'm just saying it would be weird if they just didn't make them correlate with each other.
It's weird that the X-Men are not a part of this at all.
Well, they are good now.
I know they will be, but I'm saying to begin with.
I mean,
it's
I don't
weird.
really know who the X-Men really are. I just know there's a blue guy, a rock guy, and then some fire guy.
Jesus Christ.
Dang,
the
really?
X-Men are so fucking cool.
Yeah,
And
the
then there's some
X-Men are
silver
really
guy,
cool.
right?
The Silver Surfer?
Yeah,
No,
that's
Are you
Fantastic
talking about the
Four.
Silver Surfer or are you talking about Colossus? Colossus is
He's probably
silver.
talking about
the
Colossus.
silver guy with the board.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Silver
Silver
Surfer.
Okay, that's
Damn,
all
that's
I know.
crazy that you don't know that much about X-Men's really cool.
X-Men, yeah, is one of the, yeah,
Really?
probably, it's way cooler than any.
I mean, I've seen the
Yeah.
commercial for the new one. It doesn't look too good.
Well, the movies
those
aren't
are
good.
Those are Fox movies.
Yeah.
And that was,
Oh.
hopefully Dark Phoenix is the last of that shit.
The
Okay.
movies are absolutely not good, but the characters themselves are
First
so
Class, Days of Future Past, not bad.
cool. I don't like it, but yeah, some people like it.
They're not bad.
Well, Days of Future Past I didn't like. I like First Class.
Yeah, but those movies aren't that bad.
They're
Also,
alright.
another thing I haven't watched.
Did you watch Logan?
Logan, not that bad.
Logan is fucking amazing.
Yeah, Logan's a very good movie.
Yeah.
Logan's
You never
probably,
saw Logan?
No, I literally started watching superhero movies.
Well, Logan's
When?
a solid
Like with
flick,
Black
even if you
Panther?
don't watch any other X-Men movies.
It's just a good movie.
But you should get some appreciation for Wolverine before you watch that.
I've watched Wolverine.
What? Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well,
Well,
I would just kill you after this podcast.
kids out there, go ahead and educate yourselves on these comic books and these.
No, but there
Marvel
are
movies.
kids. Like my friend, he's watched a bunch of them. I just never have. I started watching them with Black Panther with Joel. He asked me one time, "You want to go see this movie?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?"
That's crazy.
And then
That's what I'm
ever
saying. He's like a Phase 3 newbie. He
And
just
then ever
got into
since-
it like right before Infinity War.
and then ever since then, me and him will go. And we'll watch
To us,
it.
this is just like crack. Like as soon as there's a Marvel movie release, like gotta see it.
I always
immediately.
see. I think we did the looked at all the movies. I've seen like the last 10 movies in theaters,
Yeah,
IMAX.
Yeah.
Just to let y'all know.
I know,
But,
I'm privileged.
I'm serious about this.
We want to know what you guys think about Marvel Phase 4 and gambling in games, 10-year-olds betting on horse races. You guys can let us know everything that you think about this in the comments below. Before we end the show, we got to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters, George, Lacey Perez, and Matt Acevedo. Thank you so much for supporting the show. If anyone else wants to support the show, you can. We'll have links in the description below for all of our socials if you want to follow those. And you could also go to patreon.com/thehudgaming to give us your support. And then also, we just want to thank you so much for listening, and we appreciate all the support that you guys give us. And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace. I gotta go pee.